thriller. So I'll try my best to evoke the thrill. I begin from the first chapter. I was glad it was raining. Glad because it gave me reason for staring out the window in my office and appear preoccupied. But the poor lady wept her heart out. She was crying because I had just given her proof of her husband's affair, the photographs lining the table of her husband and her best friend in various compromising positions. The torrent of rain was subsiding. I prepared myself for the uncomfortable task of saying something reassuring. This always filled me with terror. I began with a feeble attempt to pacify her. "Mrs. Singh, would you like some water?" The hitherto inaudible sobs crescendoed to an embarrassingly high pitch. Apparently Mrs. Singh was the kind of woman who would ensure that her husband's affair would not be dissolved in just an innocuous glass of water. She wanted to display her entire range of histrionics before resigning herself to her fate. "That bitch Seema, I'll kill her. We used to play tennis together. How could she do this to me?" she said in between sobs. To my mind, the answer was simple. Seema accomplished this by being 20 kilos lighter. Nevertheless, I maintained my silence and nodded sympathetically. The rain ceased, forcing me to stop staring outside. I glanced at my watch and realized it had been over half an hour since I had shown her the pictures. It was time to broach the subject of the remainder of my fee. As per the contract, 75% of my fee would be payable and submitting conclusive evidence, which in this case were the photographs. This was my 10th extramarital affair case since I had become a detective, and each time I was confounded by the seemingly simple task of bringing up the subject of my fee with some poor dame who had just discovered the infidelity of her spouse. At the same time, I had learned from previous experience that if a deranged wife left the office without paying, I might as well kiss my fee goodbye. The actions of an emotional woman were as predictable as the actions of the Indian cricket team during a series. For all you know, in her vindictiveness, she might sleep with the driver, shoot her husband, or worse, do both simultaneously. I got her from her chair and walked towards her. I stood behind her, whispered a few words of commiseration, and placed my hands on her shoulders. The closing act was always crucial. If successful, it would get me an endorsement at a next kitty party or aerobics class. Nothing spectacular, and something modest like, "It was the most trying time of my life. Thank God for Vishal Bajaj, the detective I hired. I don't know what I would have done without him. He's the man for all jobs, discreet, charming, and cute too." I used my fingers to massage her shoulders. Being hasty when discussing the fee was always a mistake from a business perspective. I should know. Cheating husband jobs are my core competency. My jealous competitors had given me the sobriquet toy boy. The more crass ones called me a gigolo. I took my attempts at maligning my character with a pinch of salt. Last week, a lady had walked into an Eagle Eye detective agency just across the street and asked for me. They tried to inveigle her into appointing them. She didn't give in. Vishal Bajaj was who she wanted, and that was what she got. Such occurrences were common, and my competitors retaliated by spreading rumors about my promiscuity. But they were just that, rumors. On principle, I never got cozy with any of my female clients. There were times when the ladies themselves tried to seduce me. I discouraged such attempts and maintained a strict client-detective relationship. I saw my job as an honorable one, as an alchemist transforming women with low esteem into beings filled with hope and optimism, counseling rich, middle-aged, jilted wives to cope with the fact they're no longer attractive to their husbands. I did this by making them aware of a promising new life that awaited them, filled with Botox, Dubai shopping festivals, and young male gym instructors who would do anything for money. I felt her shoulders relax under my fingers. She had stopped sobbing. I said softly, Mrs. Singh, this is the subject of my pending fee. I wish she would pay and leave. The postmortem of a case usually involves a deluge of emotions, and as I often said to my second in command, Renee, too many emotions give me loose motions.